Hey guys, this is a Newport County blog now. This is Taff, and I'm responding to yet another comment. Someone's asked me to talk about the signings Newport County have made. So yeah, I'm going to do that right now. I've got them right up in front of me. We've made so many signings, I know full well I'd forget one or two if I didn't put that up in front of me. So right, we retained Joe Day, who was already on a contract, which is great. Absolutely great. I think he's a great goalkeeper. Couple of little issues as far as the command of his area is concerned, but fantastic shot stopper. And if he gets that right, he's going to be bang on the money for next season. James Bittner was a very shrewd one, in my opinion. He's 34 years old, but he's still a capable goalie as a backup. But the fact is, he comes as a coach as well, which means we didn't need our current goalkeeper coach Ryan McInnes. As much as I think he's a quality bloke and a good goalkeeper coach, football's just a ruthless game, and things like this happen. And if anybody thinks otherwise, you know, like I say, football's cruel. Football's just cruel. Okay. We retained Darren Jones, who was one of the only ones to agree to a new contract. Fair play, showing a bit of loyalty. Possibly one of our better players in the second half of the season, although we didn't have an awful lot of competition for that in the last few games. Arguably our best signing, although I'm going to say this again a couple of times, but a real top shrewd signing was Scott Bennett. How we got him, I don't know, but what a player he was for us on loan last year, and having him at centre back, you can rest easy that we're not going to concede as many goals just for him being there. We're not going to concede as many. I reckon his presence will prevent a further 10 goals not going in. And as the same for Jamie Turley. In the first friendly, you just look at him and think, yeah, you're going to be quality, mate. What an absolute monster he is as well. He is massive, absolutely giant he is. And yeah, he's going to cause some issues for some strikers next season. I'm telling you now. Possibly a captain, Scott Bennett or Jamie Turley could be good for a captain. Kieran Parcell, one of our younger players, I'm glad we've kept hold of him. He looked promising in the times he was called upon, and he's going to go from strength to strength, to be honest with you, as will Liam Angel. Both of them, being compared to Regan Paul, who ended up making his move to Manchester United, which was unbelievable for him. But these two really good up and coming young defenders. Yeah, there's promise in these two. Dan Butler was the one that I thought was the most shrewdest of the signings. 21 years old, right? Played for Portsmouth 2 years ago last season. He played in the conference, I know, but he played at left back for Torquay United and got 16 assists in one season from left back. Now that is an absolutely phenomenal return. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing that we've got a player like that. Young, fit, hungry. That's exactly what we want. And the same on the other side. Jazzy Barn and Bob, we had him on loan. Really fast, really good with the ball at his feet. Really good at moving forward, but he can get back and defend as well. And someone asked me somewhere whether he'll be an upgrade to having Danny Holmes. Danny Holmes, fair play, he put the shift in for it. I mean, a real shift in. If Jazzy Barn and Bob, only puts half of the effort that Danny Holmes put in, then yes, that's an upgrade for me. At 20 years old as well, plenty of time for him to improve upon, his current abilities. I'm really happy with the signing of Ben Tozer. He's he can play anywhere. According to him, he can play anywhere on the park. But defensive midfield is where you'd most associate him. And if you look at League Two teams, successful League Two teams, they have a defensive midfielder. They have a good defensive midfielder. They have that person plugging the hole between the defence and the midfield. And Ben Tozer will fit in perfectly playing there. Josh Labadie, as long as he behaves himself, I mean, what a good signing he is. He's obviously a great player, It's just all down to whether he behaves. And he's had one or two incidents in the past, but players have a tendency of joining us and us getting the best out of them, and then putting their troublesome days behind them. So, yeah, I'm really glad that we've made that signing. I mean, the midfield is already shaping up to be pretty decent now. I mean, Ben Tozer, Josh Labadie, Mark Randall, then ex-Arsenal, just come from Barnet. One of the outstanding players when they beat us 2-0 at their ground. So I think that is a really, really good signing. And if you look, Tozer's 26, Labadie's 25, Randall's 26. So we got years left in them. They're coming into the prime of their career. So we've signed them at a perfect time. And I think the three of them could make a really, really good mix. And waiting in the wings then to make the most of whatever chance he might get is Tom Owen Evans. And this is a future player. He is going to be top draw. He's going to get a Championship or Premier League team one day, 19 years old. And coming along really, really well. Wingers. Now you tend to find wingers are a big thing, making the most of the space that you've got. Jack Compton is a very shrewd signing, scored a nice free kick in our opening friendly match. And he looks a tricky player. He looks like he's good with the ball at his feet, which is something the only player we really had last year who ran with the ball was Medialito. But he was just always too laxy-daisy with it. We'd be running and then how can I put it? He was just very clumsy, very, very lazy, and as much as he was able to, as much as he was able to make some magic happen every now and again, he just didn't make decent play happen often enough, if that makes sense. Having someone like Jack Compton, and then on the right wing, Jennison, Myrie Williams, they can all do that kind of thing that Medialito does, but do it to a more consistent basis. And Jennison, Myrie Williams have got goals in him as well. So I'm really happy with those two signings. Sean Rigg, he got promoted with Wimbledon. Whether he played a massive part in that season or not, I'm not sure. I know, to be in their squad, he played for them. The jury's out on Sean Rigg until he actually plays, but I want him to be a success so my group can sing the obvious song, Sean Rigg's on fire. That's a great chant for Will Grigg, and Sean Rigg fits it perfectly. So yeah, definitely Sean Rigg, if he proves to be a good signing. We've got a pretty exciting chant to introduce to the Hazel Terrace. Obviously, we've kept hold of Lionel John Lewis, who was on contract, and Tom Meachin. Lionel John Lewis showed that he can be a nuisance and he can score goals last year. Didn't score as many as we'd like, but then an injury mid-season scuppered his form, which he failed to recapture by the end of last season. But we know what he's capable of. So unfortunately, he's taken an injury. Let's hope he's not out for long. But Lionel John Lewis is going to be a big part of next season, I think. And Tom Meachin, everybody is hoping to God that he's another Connor Washington. Pinched him from a team around about the same level as we did with Connor Washington. Picked him up because of his goal scoring form, as we did with Connor Washington. And we had Connor Washington towards the end of our promotion season. We had Tom Meachin towards the end of this season, and both of them didn't really get many chances. Now Tom Meachin's got the same opportunity as what Connor Washington had, a pre-season with a professional team. Hopefully that pre-season will bring the best out of him and make him a better player, and hopefully he can be another Connor Washington. We've all got our fingers crossed, because Connor Washington is really raking in the pounds for us at the moment. I think we've made over $1 million on that player. So it just goes to show you pick up these players, and it goes to show how valuable they can be to you. So yeah, the squad is shaping up really well. There's more to come, and possibly loan signings. So if this is the spine of the team, then we've got a pretty decent team. I've already spoken to a couple of players. I've spoken to Joe Day, and I've spoken to Kieran Parcell over the last week or so, and both of them said that the team is leaps and bounds above of what it was last year, and they seem more up for it as well, which is the most important thing for me. I mean, in League Two, ability isn't everything. I know ability is good, but then Mediolito had ability, and he wasn't really the player he should have been for us. But then you get a player like Lee Minshall. Lee Minshall, loved the bloke to bits. What an absolute machine he was for us. You'll probably be the first to tell you that footballing wise, he didn't have all the ability in the world, but he had that. He had heart, and he put that into every game, give you 110%. And sometimes having that in League Two is better than having a player who can make something happen every now and again. So there we go. Newport County's new signings so far. Obviously, we'll make the rest of the squad up, but I wanted to comment on it now because I feel as though because they've gone out to Poland together now, they're still out there now. That's basically the spine of the team that we're going to be seeing week in, week out next season. So, yeah, exciting times to come for Newport County, and Warren Feeney playing the transfer market extremely well. Definitely upgrading in every position and getting that all-important defensive midfielder. What we need is that all-important 20-goal-a-season striker if we haven't already got him in our ranks. I believe a striker's the next one to come in, so let's keep our eyes peeled for that then, guys. Alright, thank you very much. And now the football's starting up again. Obviously we're getting pre-season games. You'll be seeing a few more blogs. So sorry to say, but my ugly mug is going to be back on YouTube again very soon. Cheers for that, guys. Keep the comments coming, keep the requests coming. Anything in the world of football you'd like for me to share my opinion on, more than happy to do it. Thank you very much, and cheers. Up the county.